Hi everyone, my name is Sans. This video is about how to get rich using AI for complete beginners. We're going to start with intro. We're going to go through the mindset, what it means to be rich, which is different for everyone, 5 different business ideas that I've come up with, what it costs to start, and a 30-day challenge for you. Let's begin with the intro. Almost every other video that I've come across with a title similar to this, I feel like they're lying to you. Not about whether you can use AI to build something of good quality or not. That is not a question anymore. You absolutely can build something good, but they're lying about the timeline, about how much work it takes and how easy or difficult it is. This is my story. 4 months ago, I quit my software engineering job to build my own business so I can have complete equity in what I'm building. As I said, it's just been 4 months. I'm really in the beginning stages of it. I'm starting to see traction with things that I've built or automated using AI, which even a year ago would have been impossible me to do all by myself. And that motivated me to create this video. I want to simplify the steps for anyone who is a beginner. AI in general has genuinely changed what and how much one person can build alone, which means that you can do it too. Let's start with the mindset part. You should know on my channel, the mindset part is really the most important because the research behind businesses is easy now. The execution and what your self-concept is about money, work, about abundance, those things matter. This is the truth. Most people watching this will do nothing, even though things are easier now. Execution is still hard, and underneath that, a lot of people simply don't believe that it's possible for them. So I want to address 3 things head on. It is possible and the gatekeepers are gone. What I mean by this is you don't need a degree from a famous university. You don't need a big investment in your business anymore or a contact in Silicon Valley. You don't need any of that. You need a phone and a laptop, internet connection, and the willingness to learn and keep iterating. I did my bachelor's degree in computer science, but I can tell you for a fact I learned more from YouTube tutorials than I did in that whole 4-year degree. Theo's channel is a good start. Theo.t3.gg. This channel is a good start. Watching him really makes me passionate about software engineering as a whole, and these days he talks about AI, how he's using AI, so like this is a really good resource. But yes, I learned more from YouTube than I did in university because your willingness to learn and keep iterating is the most important thing in this journey. 2, it is possible, but it's not fast. Anyone who's built anything real got here by making choices day after day in the direction of the goal. The ups and downs don't disappear. You just get better at walking through them. It's kind of ironic, but once you kind of slow down and take every action deliberately, you start seeing the results faster. 3, you are not late. If you've already decided you're too late and there's nothing to be done, then you are right. Notice that that's a conclusion that you handed yourself. You convinced yourself you can't make it, that you're not smart enough. That was the limiting belief talking. Feeling like it's over for you, these are the limiting beliefs talking, and it is the difference between someone who makes it and someone who stays stagnant and stuck all their life despite effort that they're putting into it. The moment you open up the possibility that things could be different, a whole new world opens with it, and the right ideas start finding you. The best ideas come to you when you're like chilling, relaxing, and about to sleep. The people who started 6 months ago aren't ahead because they're smarter. They're ahead because they started. There's this saying, right? The best time was a couple of years ago, and the second best time is today, right now. I used to carry a lot of limiting beliefs around work and money. I thought that to earn more, I'd have to spend more hours doing things that I hated at a job. So that means others would be in control of my time. And that was the only way I knew how to make money until now. But the people who escape that trap don't work harder. They use leverage. And AI is the most powerful leverage a beginner has access to right now, because it collapses the part that used to be a whole job of its own. Researching, strategizing, planning. Like right now, if you prompt it properly, it has the capability of giving you a whole plan that used to take hours of real work, and now you can do it in minutes. You can actually create a whole plan, a whole 30-day or 3-month strategy. The research being easy does not make the results easy though. What's left is execution, showing up day after day and actually doing the thing. So whenever you watch a video like this one, how to get rich using AI, ask yourself this one question. What's the lesson here that I can actually take and apply in my own life immediately? I want to end this section with this quote that I come back to again and again by Rohn. Let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things, but not you. Let others cry over small hurts, but not you. Let others leave their future in someone else's hands, but not you. And remember the 4 things that never return: the spoken word, the speeding arrow, the wasted life, and the neglected opportunity. what rich actually means, because it's different for everyone. When I say rich, I'm not talking about a Lamborghini and a yacht, though that may come eventually, and I also do want that. I'm talking about the point where passive income from your work covers your life, gives you back your time, and lets you choose how you spend your days. And that income number depends entirely on where you live. If you earn in dollars but live in India or Southeast Asia or a smaller city anywhere, you have a built-in advantage. $1,000 is survival in the US, but it can be freedom anywhere else. So I would suggest you to not measure your number against someone who's making a startup in San Francisco. Measure it against your own cost of living. Passive income is not income with no work. The work is front-loaded. You set it up at the start because it becomes an asset and it keeps paying you with little attention from you later on. Affiliate marketing is a simple example of this. It's not the most profitable one. It's like not the best example, but it's a pretty clear example, because let's say you put a link in your content and someone buys through that link. The company pays you a small commission for that, and it costs nothing extra to the user. If that content or if that website where you have the link keeps getting traffic, it can earn for years while you sleep. Even in that case, you had to do the work first. Here's a realistic timeline of how it goes when you start your own thing. Month 1, you start from basically zero. You're learning, building samples, doing your first outreach. Most people quit here because they expect $1,000 and get nothing. Months 2 to 3, you have your first clients or small payments, first testimonials. Momentum starts, so does the highest dropout, because people usually realize that they are in a niche that doesn't interest. This is actually a good learning about yourself. When you're working for yourself, you don't want to make it into another job. I still recommend people to do what they actually genuinely enjoy so they can be in the game for much longer. Months 4 to 6, you have a few regular clients and you start raising your rates because now you have proof to show. Months 6 to 12, the income streams start compounding. Things that started tiny starts actually growing. I have 5 different ways, 5 different business ideas that I want to share with you in this video. And call back to the sponsorship that I mentioned, Kimi AI. This video is sponsored by Kimi AI. I personally use Kimi as an alternative to ChatGPT because I prefer how it thinks. If you've never heard of Kimi, it's made by Moonshot AI, which is one of China's leading AI labs. Earlier this year, they published a research called Attention Residuals that got real attention in the field, and even Elon Musk publicly posted on X impressive work from Kimi. 2 of the ways that I'm about to show you, I've only researched, not lived them myself, but in this video, I'm going to show you the exact research I did using Kimi Agent Swarm. And the output, like, I'm not even joking, the output is so good that it makes a vague business idea into a fully actionable plan, which a complete beginner, like if you're in high school, you can start. I've ordered them from fastest cash with the lowest ceiling to slowest and hardest with no ceiling cap at all in terms of how much you can earn. I would suggest to anyone who's watching this video, pick the one that you can be patient and consistent with for at least 6 to 12 months. Let's start with number 1, doing social media for boring niches. You know, businesses like accountants, dermatologists, dentists, restaurants, local gyms, most of these businesses know that they need a social media presence. If they're managing everything by themselves, they have no time or skill to do it. These businesses would be highly willing to pay a freelancer to do it. The method is find what niche you want to be working together with. Then you feed the right context into an AI chat tool, draft captions, post ideas, reach out to the business with what you are confident enough to handle for them. Once you have enough proof, you can even start charging higher. Score for this is 85. Difficulty is low. First $100 can be achieved in 2 to 4 weeks. This is capped by your hours, how much effort you can put into it, unless you build an agency or proper workflows around this to kind of automate this. I want to show you how I would do the research using AI to find the right niche. So I'm starting with this prompt, feeding this prompt into the chat. I actually use the chat feature to help me create this prompt precisely for Agent Swarm. What I say is, for every niche like accountants, bookkeepers, dentists, orthodontists, etc., it will find first how undeserved they are on social media. Second, evidence that businesses in this niche actually pay for marketing help. Third, specific frustrations that owners have, realistic pricing that a beginner could charge. It will also source a link for every claim and a confidence flag. For the output, I asked it to create one ranked table from easiest and most promising first and end with a single niche. It will tell a beginner to start with this week and why. This is the result it gave me, which you can download as a PDF or docx or markdown. Real logical reasons to choose one niche over the other. I'll also link the resultant PDF in the description as well for free. Honestly, I'm more than happy with the result because it gives me all the information that I need for someone who is exploring the niches. For AI-assisted web design, you no longer need to be a design genius for this. You need taste and judgment, and AI does the execution. Regarding how to find these businesses, let me show you how I use Kimi Agent Swarm for this too. Agent Swarm is one of Kimi 2.6's newest features. It launches multiple specialized AI agents that work on different parts of the task at the same time, researching, browsing the web, analyzing information, and creating deliverables in parallel. If you want to try out this workflow for yourself, you can find it in the link below. Since I'm based in Korea, I decided to test this in Seoul. There are plenty of local shops here that only have a Google Map or Naver Map listing, but no real website, which means they're missing out on potential customers every single day. The business idea is simple: build them a professional landing page and then reach out to them and offer it as a service. This is where Kimi Agent Swarm completely changes the workflow. I simply opened Agent Swarm and gave it one prompt: identify 30 retail stores in Seoul that don't have an official website, then create a complete website opportunity package for every single one. Now watch what happens. Instead of one AI trying to do everything, Kimi spins up multiple sub-agents that work in parallel. One agent searches Google Maps to identify real businesses, another verifies business information and gathers customer reviews, another writes high-converting landing page copy, another generates custom hero images inspired by each storefront, and another organizes everything into a structured Excel sheet with contact details, website links, and even sales talking points. What's really impressive is that Kimi is actually browsing the web and gathering real public information, not hallucinating or making up things. A few minutes later, everything is ready. It generated 30 completely different landing pages, each tailored to a specific business with unique layouts, visuals, Google Maps information, and clear calls to action instead of using the same template over and over. At that point, you've already done the hardest part. You know exactly which business needs a website. You already have a professionally designed landing page to show them, and Kimi even prepares talking points to help you pitch your service. If you want to try this workflow for yourself, I'll leave Kimi in the description below. Now, the third way is doing content and YouTube. This is the one that I'm doing, and I can speak from the inside of it. And a lot of this also depends on what niche you choose, who your audience is. Technically, you don't need to show your face because faceless channels do work. And like, I'm showing mine because my channel is about authenticity, and what I'm trying to build is a personal brand, and that brand becomes my source of income. How much you end up earning depends on the niche. Pick a niche you genuinely know about and can talk for hours. I would suggest you to use AI to help you script, edit, and produce. In this case, money on YouTube comes from ad revenue when you cross YouTube's threshold, and it can also be from brand deals and affiliates. Threshold on YouTube is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours of long form content, like not short form, in the last 12 months. And I would say this is the slowest of the 5 to pay because it takes a while to hit those requirements. The algorithm is unpredictable as hell, and even good quality videos never become viral or gain attention. Despite that, this has one of the highest ceilings. You don't need a high subscriber count to make money, especially when you're making educational videos. It's the truest passive income on the list because when you become a successful YouTuber, every video becomes a digital asset that you can earn from. Score is 60, difficulty is pretty high. First $100, maybe 3 to 6 months, but often longer. Usually it's not the AdSense that pays a lot, it's the brand deals and income from affiliates. For me, it took me 2 years to get monetized on my channel. It does require you to build so many skills, like the skill of talking on camera. So there is so much that goes behind making one YouTube video. It's still a path that I bet my own time on. I just like doing it. I just really enjoy doing it. Number 4, workflow automation for businesses. This is also something I'm suggesting is B2B. Every business has repetitive tasks that take hours: capturing leads, replying to reviews, online marketing, sending appointment reminders. What you can do is build an automation that handles the boring part, and you charge a setup fee or a small monthly retainer. This is something that I have some experience with, and like the others, this also starts with the research of what niche you should help, because some businesses can pay a lot and some don't even have the budget to do that. Score is 72, difficulty is medium because you have to learn how to do the AI automation. You can expect your first $100 in 3 to 6 weeks. Ceiling, it scales well if you templatize one niche and resell it. Number 5, making niche software built with AI. It's the slowest to build and slowest to gain traction. I don't think this can be done as a hobby initially, but it can become a lifelong business. I'm currently on this path. I'm building this website called KoreaAdmit to help international students apply for universities in Korea and scholarships in Korea, because right now all the information is scattered everywhere across so many university portals and websites. A lot of them is fully in Korean. A lot of it is like just not well written. Like I would just want an AI to do the research and just give me the information that I need. And it's still insanely complicated. So I built a tool that aggregates everything. It's called KoreaAdmit.com. A lot of people keep asking me about the GKS scholarship. GKS is just one of the scholarships that Korea has. There's KAIST, there's Sungkyunkwan scholarship for bachelor's level, there's Post-Tech, SNU Glow Harmony, so definitely check it out if you're interested in studying in Korea. I built that website using AI coding assistance. Like I describe in plain language what I want, it generates the code, I review and ship it. I'm still, like right now, everything is still free. Because I'm in the middle of figuring out the business model. The point that I want to come to is the gap between I don't code and I can build a small working app really has shrunk to weeks or like if not days or days. You don't need a degree for this anymore. Turning a working app into a profitable is the keyword, profitable business is its own mountain, and I'm in the process of climbing that mountain right now. Here's the comparison table. I can share this with you if you need it. Everything that I've shared, what does this actually cost to start? Almost $0, so there's no excuse to not start. Almost every tool that I've mentioned has a free tier that's good enough to land your first paying client. You don't need the paid plans to start. You would need the paid plans to remove friction later on once you start making money. Real cost of a starter stack. For design, I would use Canva. Video editing, you use Final Cut Pro, but you can also use CapCut or DaVinci Resolve. Automation, something like Zapier or Make.com. Even if you get one client, they will pay back a year worth of tools. I would suggest you to spend nothing until something starts earning and then reinvest a fraction of what you've earned into the tools that buy back your hours. This is fully based on your skill to earn and market yourself. The real investment here is time and consistency, because to make passive income, the effort is front loaded. You work a ton in the beginning and try to automate everything, and then it keeps earning. Now, I have a 30-day challenge for you, because information is not transformation. Everything I just showed you is useless if you do not act. I would say it's not fully useless, because it is useful to know that there are ways outside of having a job to make an income. Most beginners fail because they try to do all 5 at once, and I personally have made this mistake too. If you try to do everything at once, it will just overwhelm you. You will burn out and you will quit. Quitting in this case would be the worst case scenario. So I suggest you run it for 30 days and then try it again for another 30 and see what the data tells you. I started this channel because I was tired of trading my hours for money. I was tired of building someone else's dream while mine sat on a shelf. My dream is waking up and choosing how I spend the day. My dream is to build something that outlasts the daily effort. My dream is freedom, not just the financial kind, but the freedom to be deliberate about my life. Now I want to know about you. So tell me in the comments which country you are watching this from. Which one strategy out of the 5 that I mentioned did you find compelling enough to try out? And what niche would you be targeting? Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.